Hello, hello, everyone. I want to play through the Super Bowl halftime show, and I want to go over symbolism. I didn't watch it yet, but I do know of the little bushes in there. And so far, I have that they're from the Lorax movie. They're the sprinting thistles, which is part of the living Truffula forest ecosystem. They're small plant creatures that run in groups across the fields. They don't talk or have a big plot role. They mainly show how alive and magical the natural world is before it gets destroyed. That's what those little bushes, I believe, were meant to be symbolic of. What they represent in that movie is a thriving ecosystem where even plants move and have energy. Innocent, playful life that exists naturally without control. The beauty and weirdness of untouched nature, and what gets lost when the once lure, I guess that's like from the show, industrializes everything. So they're basically visual proof of a world that's alive, free, and functioning in harmony before greed wipes it out. That's why people reference them when they see a bunch of fluffy green things running together, like in the Super Bowl halftime show, allegedly. Let's watch it.
It's the halftime show.
Qué rico es el latino. ¡Hoy se ve!
I don't think it's picking up the sound of it for some reason. I don't know how to fix that, so I'm sure we don't need to have the sound. Okay, right off the bat, I just find it interesting that we just had ICE raiding apartment complexes and going up to people in the street just literally based off of looking or speaking Spanish. And literally as it's still happening, the Super Bowl halftime show opens with indigenous individuals on some kind of farm that they set up on the football field. I just want to see what cards come out. That's all. Media blackout. All of this is alleged, my opinion, not facts. Make this a little lower. Media blackout, Operation Cover Up. The message behind opening the Super Bowl halftime show like this, allegedly, my opinion, is you'll see things how we want you to see them. If we tell you that person who's speaking Spanish is bad, but that person who's speaking Spanish is fine, even if they have the same status, in this case, obviously they don't because this is a famous person, but I feel like the intended purpose behind the message of opening up the halftime show with that, when there is everything else going on that is currently going on, like literally still to the day, feel like the message is you'll see things how we tell you to see them. Civil unrest. Yeah, that's what's literally going on. Okay, so I think that was just a confirmation. Okay, let's continue.
Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana otra. Pero no hay boda, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana otra. Me la voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, saludan a Titi, vamos a tirar un selfie. Say cheese.
What is that? Watermelons? Coco Frio? What does Coco Frio? What does Coco Frio mean? Cold coconut. Cold coconut. What's the Epstein thing about the red shoe or the red bag or something like that? What in short, what was that? Hold on. There isn't any verified document, red shoe, red bag symbol tied to Epstein, and court records are confirmed. What you're probably seeing comes from internet rumor culture that grew around the case. The Red Shoe Club rumor. Online forums and conspiracy communities started claiming that powerful elites signaled involvement in abuse networks through the photos of red shoes. Or the red bag coded symbolism claims similar idea. People believe that certain fashion items or colors in celebrity photos signal membership in certain groups. So hypothetically, if there was a red umbrella with a Coco Frio coconut stand, on a farm-like setting with indigenous individuals and a Spanish-speaking singer during the halftime of the football Super Bowl. What could a potential message be there if there was a message related to the Epstein red bag, red shoe, unverified theory? I'm going to answer this carefully and clearly. Cultural or visual storytelling could point to Caribbean or Latin culture. If someone wanted to read it symbolically, visibility, warning, power, or attention. And tropical or nature settings as untouched land, innocence, or exploration narratives. So it just, okay, so So the immediate attention grab from it opening in the way it does, it's going to grab everyone's attention right off the bat because you're like, what is coming next? What is coming next? They're opening it like this. It's almost like a slap in the face to all of the people who are right now sitting in detention facilities, just because some of them, we don't even know why. Anyway, and then it immediately goes to the Coco Frio island vibe, plus very obvious bright red umbrella. And if I'm doing this reading right now to kind of wrap up my other readings where I was talking about how I believe that this is the closing out of a ritual that started when Epstein originally got arrested / around 9/11. Those were two different phases of it. One was when it became public. One was when it integrated. And the Epstein year before he was arrested the first time, it was Rolling Stones. That was the tongue. Then we had Prince the year after that. That was the devil tail. And now all the way to here, now we're closing out the cycle, right? So red umbrella plus coconuts, people are automatically going to link to Epstein. So bright red umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella. It'll keep you shaded so you're not too in the light. It'll keep you dry if it starts to get wet. Would it be fair to say that the coconut / bright red umbrella was meant to grab people's attention, signaling to those in the club like a confirmation of the one phase is complete, we step into the other phase. What's the other phase? That's going to tie us into the Bush. What were they called? Hold on. Lorax, truffula, the little bushes. Fair to say. Secret weapon, frozen, preserved. Secret weapon. Their secret weapon of control that they use to continue to keep people in line / silent / doing whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing to play their role. Their secret weapon of control for that we can clearly see in the rest of this performance is blank. God. They put the fear of God in them. Am I saying that Bad Bunny is directing all of this? No, I'm saying the entire performance and setting and stuff is designed to give a certain message. I feel like that message from the elites to everyone involved in the Epstein thing is something within this performance is meant to put the fear of God in them, because whatever comes next requires them to maintain the performance, the act, and the silence, allegedly. What was Bad Bunny's opening song of the Super Bowl? I keep wanting to call it the Half Bowl because he did the halftime show. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Titi mi pregunto. What does that mean? And what are the lyrics in English? It was the very first song of his 2026 Super Bowl performance. My auntie asked me. In the song, Bad Bunny is basically saying his aunt keeps asking why he's still single and when he's going to settle down. His answer is that he has a lot of different women in his life and he isn't trying to commit. It's playful, but also a commentary on modern dating, fame, and bachelor culture. Overall meaning, the song is about freedom, temptation, and the lifestyle that comes with fame. It moves between humor and reflection. On the surface, it sounds like a party song about having many girlfriends. Underneath, it touches on loneliness, emotional detachment, and the pressure to settle down. Key chorus meaning, my aunt asked me if I have many girlfriends. Today I have one, tomorrow another. My auntie asked me. My auntie asked me. My auntie asked me. Is auntie in this case symbolic of Ghislaine? Breaking and entering. Breaking and entering. So breaking and entering is my it's like a secondary meaning to me is my Bethany and Aaron card, my two best friends, B and E, which is making me think Ghislaine didn't testify, but pled the fifth today, the day after the Super Bowl. My aunt asked me if I have many girlfriends. Today I have one, tomorrow another. I almost want to say it feels like this song was the first song, and the symbolic meaning behind it is you think Ghislaine was scary when she was the one that was like the threat to who was on the list. If you stay silent and play your role, you're under the umbrella Ella. But if you talk or if you step out of line, you think Ghislaine was scary, just wait till tomorrow when the keys get handed over after she's done with that testimony. Because her part of upholding her part of the plan was, I'm not going to say anything if everyone plays their role till then. The next part of her thing is getting out. But I think that's a little bit down the line. But I feel like her silence is symbolic of, okay, everyone's playing their role so far. Everything's going to plan. I don't need to come up here and blow up anybody's whole career. I mean, more. Stakeout, surveillance, motive clear. Yeah, that's her clear motive. Okay. So, red umbrella, coconut stand, clear reference to the island, the red giant umbrella up against the green background, meant to stand out, very obvious with, how do I word this? Like, okay, the handover is happening. We made it this far. If you're under the umbrella, great, stay under it. Because if you think that Ghislaine was a threat, wait until whoever Ghislaine is handing over the keys, like a rally? That doesn't sound right. Relay race. Like she's handing the keys over to the next person, and that person will now have both sides of the list that exists that our government says doesn't exist. So whoever has that holds a big portion of the cards. So I feel like this is symbolic of, so far, the switchover is about to occur. If you're under the umbrella of protection, you better just being quiet and stay in line confirmation. Access denied. Because if you don't, we can't help you. You're on your own. Car chase, and they will get you. So is it fair to say that the Coco Frio red umbrella stand is both a promise and a threat? If you're with us, you're under the umbrella. If you're safe, if you're not, the big bad just got a lot bigger and a lot badder, so go ahead. GPS tracker. Yeah, they will find you. Allegedly. All right, let's keep going. What were the men doing? They're playing dominoes? Playing dominoes, doing nails. Bricks? I didn't watch this yet, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Playing dominoes, doing nails, stacking bricks? Playing dominoes, which is similar to bricks. Nails makes me think of the picture that was going around with Nicki Minaj and Trump with the long nails. I feel like that's a reference to that. Because that was just a big deal. And bricks. Dominoes, putting things into specific lines. I'm building this, you're building that. I can add to yours, you can add to mine. A building of community, a building of different structures by different pieces of a community. Nails, Nikki, alignment with a clearly sinking ship. And then bricks, building brick by brick, is the message that whatever they were building is ready to present. Behavioral shift. What was being built is ready to unveil. Everyone can get into the next role of your character. Silent alarm, yeah. Pound the alarm. Isn't that a Nicki Minaj song? Anyway. PIRA. Means shaved ice. Oh. Shaved ice. Shaved ice. Everything is in place for people to fall in line with the new authority. Sound the alarm. Brick by brick. Shaved ice? Is it fair to say that the message behind the shaved ice stand is that a part of what is in place is the what was that called? Secret police or like private police? Like whatever the secreted police needed to be set into place, there's a signal within this setup saying that it is in place. Solved, yeah. Shaved ice.
Yo tengo una colombiana que me escribe todos los días y una mexicana que ni yo sabía, otra en San Antonio que me quiere todavía y las de PR que toditas son
He takes.
mi primer amor. Se llama Batalillo. Tengo una colombiana que me
So now we had the red umbrella. Now he's taking a red liquid.
todos los días y una mexicana que ni yo sabía, otra en San Antonio que me quiere todavía.
Villa generally means large house or estate. So estate tacos. And he's taking a red cup. We had the red umbrella. Estate tacos. Tacos is giving stuffed, like stuff your mouth full of socks so you don't say anything. And then the red cup from after the red umbrella, now he's taking a liquefied red. It could have been something else. Now it's liquefied into that. And he's taking it over to be fried at the taco stand. It's giving, this is part of the warning. That may sound crazy to some people. Scroll off if it is. Everything is symbolic, especially something that everyone's going to be watching like this, because it's instructions for a lot of people for what comes next, right? And what does that say? I'd say, I don't think it said Popeyes.
Yo sabía, otra en San Antonio que me quiere todavía y las de PR.
Tacos possible? POS. POS. I think it says possible. All right.
Son mías, una dominicana que juega bombón. Ey, uva bombón.
Did one of them have red and one blue? Yeah. So you got red and blue fighting each other. Bread and circuses. Give them bread and circuses and they'll never revolt. It's saying the plan is working. Just keep the population focused on right versus left. Everyone's job right now for the next stage is to play their part in the right versus left acceleration gap that they're purposefully about to put into place like we've never seen before. After hours, like we've never seen before. People get very sloppy and over the top at the after party, right? Imagine like everyone now. Imagine if everyone now became drunk on power, meaning that they weren't already. That would be a problem because it seems as though they were already. And if that was them not being and they're going to be, that would create a major problem. Chain reaction. And the chain reaction they hope will come from them all being over the top drunk on power is red versus blue boxing. So they're signaling essentially everything is put in place for the next stage of this, where we need to do everything in terms of abuse of power so that we can force the right and the left to box each other, to fight. Maybe not literally, but you know what I mean. Security footage, because we need footage to say that it's their fault, as in us. Framed, yeah.
Ay, uva, uva, bombón, la de Barcelona que viene en avión.
What does that say? Compro. BRO. BRO. Y. Oh, ORO. It means I buy gold and silver. Okay. So everything is in place that we've been building. If you thought the previous people were scary, just wait till the new ones. Everyone needs to stay all the way shut up. If you're under the protection umbrella, stay under it by keeping your mouth shut and playing your part. What is everyone's part? Everyone's part is to continue to amplify right versus left, especially in what comes next, where if you think you've seen people drunk with power, you haven't seen anything yet. They're doing it on purpose. I buy gold and silver. I buy gold and silver. Is the message they don't need your money, influence, or power. They just need your loyalty. There's nothing they need from you, as in whoever it is that's stepping into a power role as the shadow. Common enemy, yeah. Like, essentially, you don't want to go against them. There's nothing you can do to make it up to them if they don't trust you. Unknown, the shadow. Yeah, that's the shadow. Let's keep going. How are we 1 minute in? Engagement ring. And he's giving it to the guy. Let's forget that. So he has engagement ring. He gives it to the guy, and the guy proposes. Play your role. Everybody play your role. Everything's in place. Bricks are set. Blah, blah, blah. Everything else I said. You think they're scary? Them. The handing over engagement ring and the person immediately proposing. Play your role. Play it now. It begins now. Everyone snap into whatever your next stage of character is meant to be now. Undercover, yeah. Huh. Ahura, I know I'm not saying this right. The word PICHEO means in English means now I ignore it or now I'm brushing it off. And it's over top of a bunch of people partying. Now I ignore it or now I'm brushing it off. Oh my God. Nobody knows anything. Nobody saw anything. Everyone continued to do what Ghislaine's about to do tomorrow and plead the fifth. Vault access. Continuing, I don't care. Now I ignore it. Now I'm brushing it off. Continuing with that attitude is the only thing that gets you access to whatever you were promised from your role. They had to see it all the way through to the end, or they get nothing, or they have to repay back whatever it is that they did get. Unsealed records. They had to play their role through to the end of. A couple fell off here, but they kind of went off camera. To the end of the Epstein ritual, which is closing out with the Super Bowl. Victim statement, reasonable doubt. Because no matter how many victims band together and say all the bad stuff, if all of us together just continue to say, we don't know what you're talking about, it gives us the best chance of getting people confused enough about what to do that they won't fight back immediately. Bribery attempt, yeah. Like, we'll give them that and they won't. What was the Sola Quiera song from Bad Bunny? What's that in English? Or is this the same song? Sun, beach, sand, good life. Oh, sun, beach, sand, good life. Like an island. Chain of custody. If you've been there, you know your role now. If you want to get what you were promised, you need to continue to the end, shutting your mouth, playing your role, and do what you're supposed to do. Eyewitness, yeah. Everyone's watching, especially the people who would make people shut up if they needed to. Allegedly.
Okay, ey, ey, Vivi anda jugado y yo quiero que tú me lo escondas. Agárralo como bonga, se metió una que la pone cachonda, ey.
What's the third song that Bad Bunny did at the Super Bowl? I think it's the third song. What do all of them mean and are about in English? So we have the my aunt asked me one. Then we have Yo Pero Sola, which means I twerk / dance alone, which is about a woman dancing by herself and not needing male attention. Deeper theme, female independence, consent, and letting women exist freely without being bothered or controlled. You know what they'll do to you if you go against what they want. Plea bargain, diversion tactic. Pointing here. They'll distract you with what as they do what? Overheard threat. As they do password protected. They'll scare you and then make you look like you did something to yourself. Protected witness, yeah, because they're not going to get their hands dirty. So if any females were to go against and start talking in a way that they haven't yet, essentially they would become like the victims that they would be trying to speak up for, is the threat there. Mistrial. As in coming forward isn't really going to get the justice that they would hope that it would, because they'd be silenced before they'd be able to get there. Break-in protocol, yeah. We're cutting that short. SAFAERA. No, it's Puerto Rican slang with no perfect single English word. Closest meaning wild partying, unfiltered sexual energy, and chaotic club vibe. A high energy party track celebrating reggaeton culture, dancing, and sexual confidence. Deeper theme, throwback to old school reggaeton and carefree nightlife. Okay, so like if you want to stay carefree, nothing to worry about, keep your mouth shut. How many more songs after the first three were included in his set? Because I'm pretty sure this is the third one. Oh, he also appeared with Shakira and J-Lo at the 2020 halftime one. There were 8 more songs included. Give me a short description of what they mean in English and what it's about for each of them. Standing in a square with everyone dancing around him. What's the square represent? Stolen identity? Square with everyone dancing around him. Sharks circling, stay in the square. Stay in the lines of where you're supposed to be. Cognitive dissonance. Yeah, look at the mirror in the circle, right? Like, you know what you're allowed to look at, what you're allowed to see, and what you're allowed to know, and anything else, pretend like you don't know it.
La aplica, que pagas a la tráfica, ey. Voy a llevarte pa' PR, mami, pa' que veas cómo es que
The little square was in a bigger square. Like, you can't get out of once you're boxed in.
se perrea. Trae a tu amiga si te gusta la idea. Dile que esta noche es mundial, ey.
And am I saying that Bad Bunny sat down and said, I'm going to make this message and that message and that message? No, all of this stuff is scripted. That's why they have all these performers, so they can be puppets and used as messengers for the elite to get messages out to a wider collective. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Bad Bunny himself is giving the message. I'm saying that Bad Bunny having this spot as the Super Bowl halftime performer is the deliverer of the message that they're giving out at a very high critical time. That's what I'm saying. Allegedly.
Aquí nadie se va a casar, pero tú te vas a querer quedar. Ey, aprovecha que estoy soltero. Single.
So he drops into someone's house through the roof and then goes out the front door after making a reference about shaved ice. Shaved ice. Comes in through the roof like the Kool-Aid Man or like Santa Claus and out the front door. It's giving a signal of amping up aggression in what is to come next, because I really feel like the Super Bowl was symbolic of the next step of the plan is unfolding. The keys are being handed over from inside, like someone needed to set up a downfall of the US GOV from the inside. That person is now handing over the keys to the outside person who hired them to do it in the first place. And I feel like the Super Bowl is symbolic of that. Especially because I said that previously, and then the little tree things being symbolic of, they don't play a big role, but they're symbolic of the life that was existing before destruction. And that was the choreography or whatever, or setting visual that they decided to use was that. After having then indigenous people and then also having now him breaking into the house and coming out the front door. Amping up intensity in what they're planning on doing in this next phase. Staged scene. Into the house and out the front door. Uh-oh, what did I do?
Estás escuchando música de Puerto Rico, de los barrios y los caseríos. Ella viene por ahí. Ella nunca llega sola. Todos los bandidos que sueltan la pi. Ey, ey, que esta noche lo que haya. Perreo, baby. Sabeteo, baby. Chastrao, baby. Hasta abajo, baby. No te quitas, baby. En la disco, baby. Ey, ey, ey. Perreo, baby. Sabeteo, baby. Chastrao, baby. Todos los latinos, baby. Ey, hasta abajo, baby.
So break into the house, out the front door, immediately goes into gas. Like, it's time now. Hit the gas on intensity. We're amping up the gas in intensity. Buried truth. We're amping up how'd I word that? We're amping up something in it. We're amping up the step forward in intensity so that we can get further away from talking about the Epstein files, because this is closing the chapter of it. Bug device. Hit the gas, forward into your next positions. They're watching very closely because this transition phase in their plan is very important. Yes.
Buenas tardes, California. Mi nombre es Benito Antonio Martínez Ocasio. Y si hoy estoy aquí en el Superbowl 60, es porque nunca dejé de creer en mí. Tú también deberías de creer en ti. Vales más de lo que piensas. Créeme. Dime, a tú es lo que tú querías.
Por el poder que se me otorga, los declaro marido y mujer. Puedes besar a la novia.
So he handed the ring, they got engaged, and now they're getting married. This is a handoff, I'm telling you, allegedly. This is symbolic of a handoff. That's why it's the closing of a ritual, because they're signaling to everyone who knows what they're looking for. The handoff is complete. Audio recording. What's the proof of that? Ghislaine's going to get out there tomorrow, which happens to now be today, and keep her mouth shut like everyone else is supposed to. Whistleblower. Because she could talk. It's a handoff. They're having a wedding at the... Lady Gaga?
Lost in the words that we speak. I don't even want to do this anymore. Cause you already know what you mean to me. And our love's the only war worth fighting for. Wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow.
Wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Remember that nobody's promised tomorrow. Call log. Hey, everybody on the Epstein list. Remember that nobody's promised tomorrow and they can get to you anywhere. Cheers to the next phase of the plan. Active pursuit. The next phase of the plan is them chasing down, because remember I said gas pedal. It's them chasing down what? Double cross, betrayal. I swear I really didn't watch this. This is a raw reaction. But if the world was ending... What are Lady Gaga's tattoos on the inside of her bicep muscles? There's, I think, a trumpet, maybe? Yes, she does have a trumpet tattoo on the inside of her arm. Okay. Okay. Hold on. What's the other? I think it's a quote. Hold on. What is this one, or what does it say? She's a trumpet. La Vie en Rose. It's French and translates to life in pink or life through rose-colored glasses. Blow the trumpet, blow the horn. If you want to keep living on this side of fame, that prior conviction. We know what the trumpet means. It means they're signaling judgment. They're signaling a reckoning. They're signaling something beginning. Shadow figure. Yeah, the shadow, the handing over of the keys to the shadow so the shadow can step forward. Are we going to know that right away? No, but they're in charge now, the shadow. Safe house, yeah. They're in charge now that they got Epstein where they need him, and Ghislaine upheld her part of the plan. Rogue agent, yeah. They needed to make sure that nothing was going to happen with Ghislaine. Like, not her going rogue, I don't think, but like if anyone talks or steps out of line, then they had her potential opportunity to testify in place in case anyone needed to be put in their place. Now that has closed, they don't need to use that. Inside contact, yeah. Like, go ahead, anyone step out of line. We'll have you be the one whose name she drops as the entire world is watching for her testimony. Can you imagine? Loose end. If we need to cut you off, we will. So this was the closeout, and then Ghislaine's like the next piece of like, okay, I don't need to say anything. I can play my next part of the role now too. Low vibration devil hands.
If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I wanna hold you just for a while and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be.
I want to hold you just for a while and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd want to be next to you.
Next to you.
Mientras uno está vivo, uno debe amar lo más.
Okay. So the rest of the songs were Voy a Lavarte. I don't know how to say it. It means I'm going to take you to Puerto Rico. Showing someone the culture, beauty, and lifestyle of the island. Then EOO, mostly a hype energy track about confidence, success, and living boldly without apology. Then Monaco, about wealth, fame, and elite lifestyle. Also reflects on how success changes relationships and how people treat you differently once you have money. And then BAILE something. Unforgettable dance is what it means, about a romantic or emotional connection remembered through music and dancing, nostalgia and passion. And then Nuevo means New York. In Puerto Rican slang, it's about life in New York and cultural identity between island and city. And El Apagon means the blackout. I'm going to take you to Puerto Rico. I'm going to take you PR, public relations. I'm going to take you to public relations. We will take care of your whatever if you continue to be the hype man for this team. Blackout. And then Cafe Con Ron means coffee with rum. And then DTMF means I should have taken more photos. Would it be fair to say that the order of the rest of these songs is confirming that when they do some kind of blackout, it's because they're getting rid of all the rest of the evidence that they're never going to show us? Front company in reverse. Yeah, the shadow. So confirming it's gas to the pedal to the metal. We're going into the next phase of the plan. Everybody play their role. Shut up. There's confirmation that this phase is over because Ghislaine will get up there tomorrow and plead the fifth. If she had to take someone down, there was the opportunity for her to. That's why it was listed for tomorrow or today, which was tomorrow yesterday. But Ghislaine pleading the fifth is proof that we're going into the next phase. And when we reach the blackout part, it's because they're resetting whatever they need to behind the scenes so that they can wipe the rest of the evidence and not show us anything. Is that fair to say? Mysterious absence. Where did everything go? I keep clicking the wrong thing. Cake with ladders. We're safe up on our pedestals. Don't climb down or push yourself off of the pedestal by going against your role. Altered records. Yeah, don't change your role. Don't try to change anything. Stay on your pedestal. Have your cake and eat it too. This might be a dumb question, but was that a real wedding during Bad Bunny's halftime performance? My face is itchy. Oh, it was real. Huh? A real couple actually got legally married during the halftime show. Bad Bunny signed the marriage certificate as a witness. There was a real wedding cake. They had a real first dance, and it was not actors or staged. I just thought it was going to say no. Okay. So they had a real wedding ceremony at the halftime show. That was the most watched halftime show, where I'm saying it was a handoff of power, and it was the confirmation / celebration / graduation of sorts of the handing off of power. And they had a real wedding. So like two sides permanently joined together, as in a handoff. Ground search. We'll see proof of what I just said in the remainder of the performance. What are we looking for? We're searching for what as proof? Body double. Okay.
Okay.
The Island Boys. The barber shop. That was the confirmation I just said we'd get. It happened right after I said it. Compromised data breach. Is it fair to say that the island boy right now that's in rehab is because he was getting too close to like revealing stuff or saying stuff, or there's like something he had to take a downfall so that his credibility could be ruined because he said too much? So essentially the warning there is you want to end up like the island boy? Altered timeline, yeah. He was doing real well, fell real hard. Confidential file, yeah, because he didn't shut up. Allegedly.
San Francisco, disfruta que esto es un ratito nada más. Hey, hey, hey. 4 de julio fue el de July. Ando con mi primo borracha Rulay. Los míos en el Bronx, ¿sabes lo que hay? Con la nota en high, por Washington hay. Willy Colón me dicen el malo. Ay, porque pasan los años y sigo dando palos. Vendiendo discos como cuadro Frida Kahlo.
I don't know if it's like Bad Bunny's personal thing or not, but he's at a football game. He did a baseball thing. Hitting it out of the park, a home run. Bases loaded, home run. It's symbolism on top of symbolism on top of symbolism, stating end of one phase into the next. Keys have been handed over, and they're telling everyone what proof and signs to look for to confirm that they're understanding the message correctly. Shallow hole. You want to be in a little bit of trouble and make the public just not like you, or you want to be in a lot of trouble and have really bad, scary people not like you. Smoke screen, yeah. Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors meaning it's a small price to pay to have the public mad at you. It's a big price to pay to have the big bad bosses mad at you for talking. Off grid, yeah. Because they will remove you.
El perigo es blanco, sí, sí, el tusi rosita. No te confundo, no, no, mejor evita. Ey, un shot de cañita en casa de cañita. Ey, PR se sienta cerquita. Tengo el campeonato, nadie me lo quita. Mejor evita. Ey, un shot de cañita en casa de cañita. Ey, PR se sienta cerquita. Tengo el campeonato,
Like a little mini chocolate?
No me guandes, déjalo.
Can I ask about the shot glass? Cipher code, secret code. See how he's like taking it out with his hand? Is the shot glass meant to represent a psych ward or a rehab facility? Essentially, hey, they'll just Britney Spears you if you want to try and go against what your role is. Offshore account. You saw what happened to Britney. They stole all of her money, all of her reputation they ruined, and then now they have her parading around on Instagram. Not her, but you know what I mean. They're Would it be fair to say that the taking of the little shot glass was meant to be a, hey, does anyone want to end up in the psych ward or the rehab facility? Because if you run your mouth, that's where you're going. It went from the barbershop Island Boy hair reference right into the taking of the little shot glass, which I believe is meant to be representative of the medicine they would give you in like a psych ward. So it's giving, do you want to end up like Island Boys or Britney Spears? Go ahead and talk. This is like a last final ditch, like we're pounding it in that we're about to start this. And if anybody does something they're not supposed to do, they know now the keys are handed over and they're not supposed to do anything but play their role. Off the record, yeah. Shh. That's why they use this symbolism and that symbolism. You didn't see anything and you aren't talking.
Puerto Rico.
What did they? And that's the little boy that was arrested. I don't know what else to call it. Taken into the detention center. And he handed him a little trumpet.
Como Bad Bunny va a ser el pop, con reggaetón y dembow.
Quieren quitarme el río y también la playa.
Is that Ricky Martin?
Mío, y que abuelita se vaya. No, no, suelte la bandera, ni olvide el Lelolay. Que no quiero que hagan contigo lo que me pasó a Hawái. No, no, suelte la bandera, ni olvide el Lelolay. Que no quiero.
Who is this and what is he singing? What's the title and meaning in English?
Quiero que hagan contigo.
Con mucho cariño para todos ustedes.
Puerto Rico está bien cabrón. De Carolina sale reggaetón y los iguales.
Oh, the picture that was sent.
Quiero que hagan contigo.
Con mucho cariño para todos ustedes.
Is that 4 of them?
Que no quiero que hagan contigo.
It's 3 coming down from like a cross electric pole. One other one is there, but it's empty. It's from the 4 line leaders, the 4 horsemen that I referenced. I feel like this is a reference to that, with the main shadow being the one that's empty. And coming down from like electric type cross poles, something being fulfilled, and then something now downloading or coming in. Key omission. This scene says the quiet part out loud about financial trail. Financial trail. They're coming from above. The shadow, everyone that's involved in this is now aware that the shadow is the one that's funded the entire thing. Yeah, that's meant to be like God's eyes, the highest perspective here. I'm saying it like that because in this case it's not, but it's just like the highest up person. The shadow has funded the entire island, the entire operation, the entire blackmail, everything. So there's like no way to go against the shadow. Dead end, yeah. Yeah, it is Ricky Martin. The song is What Happened to Hawaii. So when Ricky Martin sings it, the meaning is basically don't let Puerto Rico lose itself the way Hawaii did. Essentially, is the message that confirming / reminding that the shadow is the one that funded the entire thing and also is the one that is in charge of destruction, such as what happened in Hawaii. All of these things were chosen very specifically. Is that fair to say? In custody. Basically, everyone's in a trap against the shadow. Exit strategy. Trap. Exit strategy is the custody. Exit strategy is the trap. The only way out is to just let them take you or do what they want. Mental break, yeah. Wonderful.
Puerto Rico está bien está bien cabrón. De Carolina sale reggaetón y lo igual.
So, Bunny comes out singing about Puerto Rico. Then Ricky Martin comes out saying, don't let Puerto Rico become like Hawaii. And now he's holding the flag. Don't let that place become like something bad that happened at the other place. It's giving like mockery to how everyone's saying that the US is turning into like a modern day Germany type thing. It's giving like them the scene half mocking, half like, yeah, we're trying to pin two sides against each other and make bad into worse. Armed suspect. Yeah, that's
Te vayamos, ey, ey. Quieren montarse en la ola y
the
no
weapon,
pide
I
rincón,
guess.
un besito pa' abuela en el balcón cogiendo.
Weaponizing fear. Weaponizing the fear of history repeating by purposefully making it look like it's about to. Global operation in reverse, yeah, but it's not in that way. Making us look like history's about to repeat and there's nothing that we can do about it, even though that's not the case. Coordinated attack, yeah, but they're trying to make it look like that.
Tierra de Maelo y Tego Calderón y de Varel que fue campeón. Primero que Lebrón. Maldita sea. Otro vagón, vamos para los bleachers a prender un blog.
And now he's so they went down and now he's going up. So he's representing the shadow. He's representing the ain't so fun when the rabbit's got the gun. The rabbit was Ghislaine and Jeffrey both having each half of the other part of the list that our government claims does not exist, right? Them each having part of it made it so you can't get both of us without causing that big of a commotion. Now the rabbit that's got the gun is whoever they worked for has all of that information now to use however they want. He is representing Epstein's boss now having the GUN, aka both sides of the Epstein provable list that does exist. Allegedly. Contact list, yeah, the list.
Puerto Rico está en ca. Está en cabrón. Puerto Rico está en ca. Ey, ey, ey. Pichea Maldivas, yo me quedo en Palomino. Ey, si no me voy PRD, un saludo a mis vecinos. Ey, aquí el calor es diferente, el sol está ahí, no. Ey, la capital del perreo, ahora todos quieren ser latinos, no. Pero le falta sazón, batería y reggaetón. Ey, ey, pido con mi corillo que somos un montón. Le falta sazón, batería y reggaetón. Ay, ay, pido con mi corillo que somos.
And once he's up there, they get up to the higher platform. Symbolic of the shadow giving the heads of the snake more power to then go out and do the next part of their part of the plan. Abandoned. As in the previous role that they were in, where they had to pretend that they had some bit of humanity. They're abandoning that role for their heartless, win by all means role. Back entrance in the front. Yeah, come right in the front entrance with it.
Welcome to the calentón. Por la mañana café, por la tarde ron. Ya estamos en la calle, sal de tu balcón. God bless America. Sea Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Perú, Ecuador, Brasil, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Panamá, Costa Rica, Nicaragua.
The only thing more powerful than hate is love. "1984, Their very last and most important command was to get the people to reject the evidence of their eyes and ears, because they are very clearly not spreading love. I'm not saying that none of what I'm saying is like Bad Bunny specifically. I'm saying he's a pawn for the machine. They don't spread love. The entire machine does not spread love. It's giving 1984. They are in the rollout of the final command, which is how much. It's not whether or not we will. Okay. They know that some people will, some people won't. Their final thing here is how much can we convince people to not believe the evidence of their eyes and ears? We know some will and some won't. They're just trying to gauge how much. And what we do or don't do really has nothing to do with what they do next. It just has to do with the intensity of it. If they think we're really going to reject their lie, then they'll lay it on really hard next. If they think that we're just like, okay, whatever you say, yeah, everything's all sunshine and rainbows, then they won't push as hard. So it's not a matter of like if they're doing, it's just a matter of what the intensity will be. But this is really giving 1984, they're told to reject the evidence of their eyes and ears. And it's not if they're seeing if it works or not. It's just how much, how much convincing will we need to do for those who are still putting up a fight against their intuition or their better judgment. Distorted truth. They're distorting the truth. The distorted truth of reject the evidence of their eyes and ears.
United States, Canadá, a my motherland, mi patria, Puerto Rico. Seguimos aquí. ¡Ahora sí! De cuando te tuve, debí darte más besos y abrazos. Ojalá. Muchas gracias. Debí tirar más fuerte.
What is the 64 symbolic of on Bad Bunny's white jersey at the Super Bowl? It's thinking. His last name is on the jersey. The jersey said Ocasio. That's his real last name. So he was basically putting himself on the roster in his own name. So the shadow is on the roster now. And he's wearing all white because the shadow comes disguised as a being of light. Retaliation. Retaliation meaning like the shadow's coming back with a vengeance. Okay, hold on. The number 64 is a tribute to family. His mother was born in 1964. I'm trying to see what his full real name means. Benito is a Spanish form of Benedict and means blessed or spoken well of. Antonio means priceless or of great value. Martinez means son of Martin or comes from Mars, which is the Roman god of war. And then Ocasio means west, sunset, or event occasion. So blessed and valuable son of a warrior lineage connected to the west or the sunset. Sunset. Sun is setting on the last chapter and rising on the shadow, having the key now. What's the key? The key is the Epstein list. Why is the Epstein list the key? Because they have physical proof that ties people who swore that they didn't do certain things or don't know certain things into treason. And with the shadow taking over, the shadow will try people for treason. And if the shadow is also able to keep people alive, death is not an easy solution here. It's going to make people play their role and be quiet. Camera footage. They're watching. Surveillance. What is any major world events specifically around the topic of war or fighting that took place in 1964? Because you can see that sign in the background. The flags are obviously over it in this shot, but you can see the love sign. Vietnam War escalates. The Gulf of Tonkin incident, which was August 1964. It's the biggest war-related event of that year. The U.S. claimed North Vietnamese forces attacked U.S. naval ships. It led to the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, gave the U.S. government broad authority to expand military action in Vietnam. Result, massive escalation of the Vietnam War. This is considered the moment the U.S. fully entered large-scale war in Vietnam. So this is saying it's official. The handoff has begun. We're not going to see it unfold immediately, but the next step is unfolding. Perjury risk. The next step is unfolding, and everybody better shut up. Alternate route, or else. It's not going to go the way you want if you don't shut up and play your role. Cyprus conflict erupts. Brazil military coup. In March 1964, military overthrew Brazil's president. U.S.-backed anti-communist stance started a military dictatorship lasting over 20 years, part of the Cold War ideological conflict globally. Cold War nuclear tension. 1964 was a deep Cold War tension between the U.S. and Soviet Union. Nuclear arms buildup continued. China tested its first nuclear bomb in October. China tested its first nuclear bomb in October 1964. This changed global power balance and increased war anxiety. They're getting ready to drop the atomic bomb of the spiritual war. While everybody looks for a physical one, they're trying to trap souls. They're trying to get everyone hopeless and divided, and they're about to do their big one to make that happen. That's what the gas pedal reference is. That's where they're heading towards, allegedly. Deleted footage in reverse. Because guess who's not dead? Epstein. Double agent. Okay, I'm done for now. That's enough for one session. I think this is... Oh, he's not done. The beginning of the handing over of the key from one authority to another authority was the Charlie Kirk funeral / Erica Kirk concert, whatever that thing was with the fireworks. That was the beginning of this part of the handover. This was the completion of the handover. Panic button, high alert. That's all for now. Please remember that this is an energy reading. It's all alleged, my opinion, not facts. Please remember, I am not saying that Bad Bunny is the one that sat down and meticulously planned all this. I'm saying when he was given the set of this is what you're going to do and this is how you're going to do it, whoever put that in place was doing so symbolically to put certain messages out and to get certain warnings into place and to kickstart certain events. Because the adversary cannot create, the adversary can only copy off of what's being created by the light. So it's not Bad Bunny planning it himself, but it's him being a puppet in a very big circus show that they've been running since the dawn of time, when they did bread and circuses and essentially keep the people entertained and they won't revolt. This Super Bowl should have been a slap in the face. Because how can you simultaneously say people who are not white are not welcome here and then have the entire halftime show be representative of the that? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying it's their message of power behind we'll tell you what to believe, and our goal here is to test and see how much we can get you to disbelieve what you're seeing and hearing. As we work toward escalating things till it gets to a point where we can have a blackout so that we can completely annihilate and erase anything else that we don't want to show you about the Epstein files, because that part of the plan is now over. It has served its intended purpose. Illicit deal. Allegedly. Please remember that this is all alleged, my opinion, not facts. I will talk to you soon. Thank you for watching.